Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today, my lecture is for class first year. This is lecture number 7, and this lecture is from unit number 5, which is network communication and protocols. Today, our topic is TCP/IP ports. Before going further to this topic, I must want to tell you that we already have discussed about TCP/IP's protocol suites and architecture. In TCP/IP protocol suites architecture, we already learned about the TCP/IP architecture. In TCP/IP architecture, we already learned about the 4-layered suites, which have application layer, transport layer, internet layer, and network access layer. All these layers we already have discussed about, and we already discussed about the purpose of these layers and the functions of these layers in detail. Today, our next topic is TCP/IP ports, and then we have on continuation of this topic, we all have one topic more, which is TCP/IP application. So there are 3 topics we already discussed about. Now, the first topic already has been explained to you. Now this is the second topic, which is TCP/IP ports. TCP/IP ports in computer network. A port is a communication endpoint. At the software level, within an operating system, a port is a logical construct that identifies a specific process or a type of network service. A port is identified for each transport protocol and address combination by a 16-bit assigned number known as the port number. A port number is always associated with an IP address of a host and the type of transport protocol used for communication. It completes the destination or origination network address of a message. Specific port numbers are reserved to identify specific services so that an arriving packets can be easily forwarded to a running application. For the purpose of lowest number 1024 port number identify the historically most commonly used and services and are called the well-known port number. Higher number ports are available for general use by the application. So dear students, as you know that port are the physical port can be physical and port can be a logical endpoint of the communication system which have some specific number. You already learned by this definition that these are the ports number. So we can say that every computer or device on the internet must have a unique number. The important thing which we already learned about it, that port is identified by a unique number. Assigned to it is called an IP address. The IP address is used to recognize each particular computer out of the millions of other computers connected to the internet. The information sent over the internet to a particular computer is received by using TCP or UDP ports. So we can say that there are 2 ports, types of ports are here. One is TCP and other is UDP. TCP and UDP. UDP stands for user datagram protocol. UDP stands for UDP Datagram Protocol, and TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocols. There are total of 65535 TCP ports. So, dear students, you can see that we have how much TCP ports are there. TCP ports are in total how much? 65535. 65535 ports are available uh, on the internet, and the other one UDP ports are how much the UDP ports are. UDP ports are 65535 also as well. They are also have the 65535 ports are available in UDP. So the Internet Assigned Number Authority, IANA. There are some authority which is IANA, which is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. This authority assign all the ports numbers to the ports. So is responsible. This authority is responsible for assigning a TCP and UDP port number to a specific user. For instance, port number 23 is used for telnet services. So port number 23 is used for telnet services. And then 80, port number 80 is commonly used for HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transport uh, Protocol. It stands for Hypertext Transport Protocol. For providing web browsing services. So this provides web browsing services. Dear students, you already know about it. When we are going to search some uh, uh, website on our browser, then that website use this port number, which is port number 80, and HTTP is Hypertext Transport Protocol, which used mostly for browsing the websites. We use some websites, and also as well as this port is used for FTP. FTP stands for File Transport Protocol. File Transport Protocol. So this is used for FTP services. And then we can see that our port number 20 to 21 is used for TCP to send and receive information. So port number 22 and 21 is used for used by TCP to send and receive information. There are some ports that are assigned, some reserved, and many unsigned, which are to be utilized by application programs. So these are the ports number, and these are the ports which are used by our internet, TCP, IP, and UDP. So dear students, we can have a look about for this table. That this table shows that port number 20 is used for file transport transfer protocol. The second 21 is file transfer protocol. 22 is service shell. 23 is telnet. 25 is simple mail transfer protocol, which is and 25 is 53 is domain name service. 6768 is domain host configuration protocol. Port number 80 is hypertext transport protocol. uh, 110 is post office protocol. 119 is network news transfer protocol. 123 is network time protocol. 143 is internet message access protocol. 161 is simple network management protocol. 194 is internet relay chat, and 443 is hypertext http services over network. So, and these are the protocol, these are the ports which are used by the internet. So there we can classify ports into three category. The one, number one is the well known protocol, well known ports. This one is first. The second one is the registered ports, and the third one is the dynamic and or private protocol. Private ports, private ports. So the first one is the well-known ports. Well, well-known ports. The well-known ports. Well-known ports. These well-known ports are from 0 up to 1023. 1023. These numbers ports are called well-known ports, are the used for the major internet net applications such as such applications such such as, for example, we can say that web and email. We use web services, email services, web services, email services. We are using, for example, all port 80 packets, 80 packets, it's HTTP packets, which are HTTP, which are HTTP packets. HTTP packets are delivered to and processed by a web browsers, are directed to and processed by a web browsers, and web servers, web servers. This is called well-known ports. The registered port. The other one is the registered ports. The other one is called the registered port. What are the registered port? Registered ports are assigned assigned to applications that are mostly mostly vendor specific, vendor specific, such as Skype, we have some application which we are going to use on the internet, which is called Skype, BitTorrent. Another is BitTorrent. Skype is used for communication. We can use the audio video communication, and BitTorrent is used for download the heavy files, which is used by this torrent. Registered ports are in the range of 1024 up to 49151. 49151. These are the registered ports. All the registered ports are here to use. So the third one is called the dynamic port. Dynamic ports. Dynamic ports. The dynamic ports. Dynamic ports, which are usually called private ports, are those in the range from 49152 up to 65535. 65535. These ports are not used by any defined applications. These ports are not used by any defined applications. So now we are going to see what we already have learned about today, dear students. We already learn about the TCP IP ports. The first thing we are learning about these ports are that these ports have some specific number, and all these ports are used for some specific operation and specific purpose. This is the summary of the all today's lecture, that we learned about the ports. There are first thing which is used, we can see that the port number, which is 16-bit unsigned number, which is represent the ports, which show the ports, and by this number we are using that ports, and that ports are used for different application, used by different application, and used for different services. So then we can see that how many ports are there in TCP IP protocols ports, and then we can see that UDP, how many ports are there in the uh, these number of the protocols. And then we already learned about this internet assigned number authority agency, which is responsible to give the numbers of these ports. Then one by one, we learned about these ports. The 3 number ports is used by Telnet services, 80 number is used by HTTP, and 20 to 21 is used by the TCP IP. And then we can see all these numbers used by different protocols and different services on the internet. Then we already have learned about the how many types of ports are there. There are well-known ports, the registered ports, the dynamic and private ports. And then we have differently discussed about these ports. The well-known ports are from 0 to 1023, and it's used normally for HTTP, etc. And then we discuss about the registered port, which are used by applications or some vendor specified. And there are the number between these ports are 1024249151. And then we had already discussed about the Dynamic ports, the dynamic ports are from this number to this number, and these are not used by some defined applications. These are used by different applications. Any multiple applications can use these ports. So that's all for today, dear students. Thank you.